Hi, in this slide I want to jump back to sort of a wider lens, bigger picture. We were talking a few slides back about the blind spots that keep it simple, transactional level customer profitability analysis has. And one thing that, cost to serve models at either level, transaction or line item, do not see is the bigger picture of how business evolves and what's going on in product distribution channels. So it doesn't see the supply chain buying trends. And the first great story in supply chain buying that I can find as an amateur historian goes back to 1956 when Ray Kroc had cut a deal with the McDonald brothers of San Bernardino, California, and they said, all right, you can use the McDonald's, burger factory idea in the rest of the United States, on some sort of royalty basis and so forth. And Ray Kroc had opened up his first McDonald's in Des Plaines, Illinois, just around the corner from where his house was in the greater Chicago area. And he went to the CEO of a local, food service paper products distributor called Martin Brower. And he knew this guy very well because Ray had been the star Solo Cup sales guy for Solo Cup and had sold just truckloads of Solo Cups to Martin Brower. So he went to Martin Brower and he said, look, I can't even afford to raise the money to build these elaborate burger factories, let alone spend money to back into distribution to take care of my own stores. I want you to take care of all the stores I open up on a sort of a contract systematic basis. And so just on a handshake, let's do it. And all I want to make sure is that when we give you ever bigger volume, so you buy these disposable products we're going to get from you on an ever lower basis, then you pass those savings on to us. And it worked just beautifully. Now, at some point, McDonald's figured out that Martin Brower was not passing the savings on, and Ray Kroc confronted his old friend, who immediately probably fell on the floor prostrate, as you do before the Bishop of Rome or something. And he said, golly, don't do it to me. I'm sorry. And Ray said, fine. We'll keep doing what we're doing because operationally it works great, but we'll just do it open book. And we'll have a shared target return on investment so we both do well together in a sense. And so the story continued on. So I can't find in the history of supply chain a relationship between a powerful company, obviously McDonald's has gotten quite powerful over the years, and their suppliers where they have continued to continuously improve the relationship. The relationship has stayed evergreen. We don't shop this around and switch people year and year and play hardball. We just work together on the supply chain math to make sure that we're taking ever more waste out of it on a win-win basis. Probably a more popular or notable story in supply chain history would be the development of what Walmart called quick response, conceptually from 83 to 86, operationally and most notably with Procter & Gamble from 86 to 88, so that in 1988 Sam Walton said, and it was like a cannon going off, I don't want to see any more product pushing sales commissioned reps. Just because a rep has the state of Arkansas and gets 5% of all the volume sold in the state of Arkansas, and there is a freak of nature in Bentonville called Walmart that does centralized buying, I don't see how these reps now should be making $1 million in commission just off Walmart volume, and they're not doing anything. They come in and sit in our lobby and say, hi, any fires I can put out today? Well, no, there aren't any fires. But what Sam was not, he was not saying, I don't want to see proactive, helpful people from my suppliers. I just don't want to see this kind of old-fashioned product pusher. What I want to see instead is a supply chain executive. I want to see somebody who can come in here and get the total system math of supply chain economics and have the power to say, yes, we don't want messenger people that then have to go back and talk to somebody else who doesn't get it. We need somebody who really comes in here and works hard to get the whole supply chain system that we're putting in platform we're creating. And so if we pick that date as the beginning of, quote, supply chain thinking, selling, buying, we could say the trend in all of business for buying physical products is somewhere between 25 years old from 1988 to 57 years old if we said 1956. It's been going on. So, for example, I had an interaction with a Global 50 manufacturing company in 1986 where they were just into beating the hell out of their suppliers. And I said, no, thank you. I don't want to participate in that kind of relationship. We'll just do fill-in business on a profit. And they got very angry with me, whatever. In 1989, this company brought in a new vice president, not of purchasing, but of supply chain from the outside in 1989. And this person brought in a new perspective. They said, stop beating everybody up. Go find the absolute best service supplier for each category of item and marry them and work together ever after. Let's become McDonald's and Walmart as opposed to chewing up and spit them out and actually killing ourselves with high hidden supply chain costs. Now, to help us get our head around this, we could plot other historic stories as well as our current customers on a grid. On the x-axis, going horizontally, we could say, are they a 1 or are they all the way to a 10? A 1 is, I want to just beat you up and squeeze you for everything I can. If you die too bad, I'll find somebody else to abuse. 10 is, wait a minute, it's all about 1 + 1 = 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's work together and just keep doing that for a long, long time. The y-axis, the vertical axis going up, is going to be how sophisticated are one or both parties when it comes to supply chain math, accessibility, availability, conversation, and creating, in a sense, custom spice racks, if you will. And then we'll look at specific, distribution channel histories after that. So our models don't see the big picture and how the big picture is changing. So I'm saying, hey, stop looking at the rocks around the stumps of the trees. This is a forest. It has a living edge. It has a dying edge. And the living edge is selling and buying supply chain math. And the dying edge is pushing products, and checking prices and playing bid, bark, and buy. So let's look at the next graph. Thanks.